Stephen was sitting at the wooden table with a notebook in front of him. His pencil tapped against the page as he sighed loudly. "Grandpa, why is it so hard to get better at something? I try once or twice, and nothing changes. I still make mistakes. Maybe I'm just not good at it." Grandpa, who was sipping his tea by the window, looked over at him with a gentle smile. "Stephen, tell me, how many times have you actually tried?" Stephen thought for a moment and shrugged. "Maybe 2 times? 3 at most? But if it doesn't work, why keep going?" Grandpa chuckled softly and leaned back in his chair. "Ah, my boy, you have just discovered one of life's greatest secrets. Let me tell you a story." "Many years ago," Grandpa began, "there was a sculptor who wanted to create the most beautiful statue in the world. He took a giant block of marble and began carving. After only a few days, he looked at the rough shape and grew frustrated. 'This is too hard,' he thought. 'I'll never make something beautiful out of this stone.' He walked away and left the block unfinished. Months later, another sculptor passed by, saw the same block of marble, and decided to try. Every day he worked a little at a time. Some days he made great progress. Other days it felt like nothing changed at all. But he kept carving, chip by chip, week after week, month after month. After a year of steady effort, the rough stone became a breathtaking statue. People from all around came to admire its beauty. The first sculptor, seeing the statue, felt regret. He realized that the difference between them was not talent, but consistency. One gave up after a few tries, while the other kept going until the masterpiece was complete. Stephen leaned forward, his eyes wide. "So the second sculptor wasn't special? He just didn't stop?" "Exactly," Grandpa nodded. "Small efforts, repeated consistently, can create something great. It's not about doing everything in one day. It's about showing up every day." Stephen scratched his head. "But, Grandpa, doesn't it get boring to do the same thing again and again?" Grandpa smiled. "It can feel boring, yes. But think of it this way. Imagine a drop of water falling on a stone. 1 drop won't change anything. 10 drops won't make a difference either. But if the drops keep falling, day after day, year after year, even the hardest stone will eventually wear away. That's the power of small, consistent actions. What seems weak in the short term becomes unstoppable in the long term." Stephen thought for a moment, then said, "So, if I practice writing a little every day, even if it looks the same now, I'll get better over time?" Grandpa's eyes twinkled. "Yes, Stephen. Just like how trees don't grow tall overnight, but with a little sunlight and water every day, they reach the sky. Success is never built in a day. It's built in small, repeated steps. That's why consistency is more powerful than bursts of effort." The old man stood up and pointed toward the garden. "Do you see that path of stones leading to the gate? I didn't build it in a single day. I placed 1 stone every evening after dinner. It took me many months, but now we have a path that will last for years. That is the power of consistency." Stephen stared at the path with new eyes. He had walked over it so many times, but he had never realized how much patience and effort went into building it. Grandpa put his hand on Stephen's shoulder. "Most people fail, not because they can't succeed, but because they give up too quickly. They expect instant results. They forget that all good things take time. Consistency turns small actions into big changes." Stephen smiled shyly. I guess I gave up too quickly on my notebook. Maybe if I try a little every day, I'll see improvement after all. That's the spirit, Grandpa said warmly. And remember, Stephen, consistency is not just about practice or skills, it's about everything in life. Being kind every day builds strong friendships. Saving a little money every day creates wealth over time. Reading a few pages daily fills your mind with wisdom. Each small act may seem invisible today, but together they create a future you will be proud of. The boy looked down at his notebook again, this time with determination. So, it's like planting seeds, he said slowly. You water them every day, even if you don't see them growing yet, but one day they become a big tree. Grandpa's face lit up with pride. Exactly, Stephen. That is the lesson of consistency. When you trust the process and keep going, the results will come. Do not be fooled by slow progress. Progress is progress, no matter how small. The evening sun dipped lower, casting a golden glow across the garden. Stephen picked up his pencil again, and instead of sighing, he began writing carefully in his notebook. Grandpa watched silently, knowing that the boy had understood the lesson. For a while, Stephen looked up and whispered, Grandpa, maybe one day, if I keep writing, I can become really good at telling stories. Grandpa placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. And you will, Stephen. As long as you stay consistent, nothing can stop you. The boy smiled, his heart lighter than before. He finally understood that the secret to greatness was not speed, not talent, but small, patient steps taken every single day. And that was the beginning of his lesson on the power of consistency.